Side B. I'm Dave.
I'm Steve.
And I'm 7-inch Sean.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Anywho, what do you... I'm gonna share some deep lore about me as a person before we get started. When I was a kid, I'm not gonna say exactly how old because I'm trying not to give away too much personal information on the internet. But when I was a kid, at one point, I was standing in line for a movie called The Phantom Menace.
Oh. What movie is that?
It was the first new Star Wars movie that I could remember coming out in my lifetime. And I was really excited for it. And I was, out there standing in line for my friends, buy us all tickets. They were going to pay me back. And I was standing behind a group of people who seemed like they were really cool. They, looking back at it now, I was standing behind a group of people who are just kind of like me as an adult. But maybe it was aspirational to turn out like these people. They were, just a bunch of like cool, older, kind of like punk guys. One guy made fun of one of the other guys for complaining that a movie magazine had spoilers for Austin Powers 2. It's like, oh, what are you expecting? Yeah, and they talked a lot about,
groovy, baby.
Yeah, they talked a lot about, just like their day-to-day lives and like different movies and video games and stuff that they liked. They were big fans of the original Baldur's Gate because that came out that same year. And I was like, hey, these guys seem pretty cool. And then like when music came up, one of them was like, a band I always wished had been more successful, The Damned. And I was like, that sounds intriguing. And so I kind of put that away in the back of my head. And then later when I was getting into music, like getting like the free CDs from BMG and all that, I was like, what's this The Damned band? And I started checking them out. So they weren't the first punk band I heard, because between me starting to get into music on my own and getting my own CDs, there was hearing like Green Day and The Offspring on the radio. But they're the first punk band that I sought out. And so they've always held a special place to me. Anyway, what do you guys know about the band The Damned?
Misa, no, not much.
Me so sorry. It's a big one. I know their first album. It's the one with Nee 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 and the old song we just listened to.
New Rose?
New Rose, yeah. So, I think I've listened to Machine Gun Etiquette a couple times as well.
It's a good one, yeah.
Isn't Lemmy a fan of The Damned?
Yes, Lemmy was kind of in The Damned.
That's right.
He never joined as a permanent member, but at times when they were between bass players, he would fill in. And they did a split release as The Doomed, where it was all of The Damned and all of Motorhead playing on the same song.
God, that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Damned had definitely a fun... They always, the albums I heard by them always sounded like they were having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Know?
My main sources for this are the documentary Don't You Wish That We Were Dead, which is a lyric from their song Machine Gun Etiquette off their third album, and the No Dogs in Space series on them. They were, at the time of the record that we're going to do today, they were Rat Scabies on drums, Dave Vanian on vocals, Captain Sensible on guitars and keyboards, Paul Gray on bass, and Roman Jug on keyboard solos.
It was really nice of Paul Gray to lend his talent to it between time with Slipknot. Oh, wait, they didn't exist yet.
Yeah. This
album came out the year I was born.
Yeah. This album is interesting. So they were not the first UK punk band, but they hit all the first milestones because the Sex Pistols were too dysfunctional to put out an album before the Damned did. So they put out the first UK punk record with Damned 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 after they had put out the first single with New Rose. And so they had a lot out there. Some of the histories of the UK punk scene kind of talk shit about them because Sex Pistols fans are a little pissy about a different band having better work ethic. They started out, Captain Sensible, who I said earlier, started out as the bass player. At the beginning, they had a different guitar player who did not rejoin for Machine Gun Etiquette, and Captain Sensible was more of a guitar player than a bass player to begin with. And as someone who liked to jump and dance around the stage, he wasn't very good at holding down consistent bass lines, and was, made more sense as a lead player then. So yeah, their reunion era, they did not have Brian James, the original guitar player, with them anymore. But one of Brian James and the whole band's big influence, which also makes them a little different as a punk band. Oh yeah, a couple more firsts they hit. They're the first major UK punk band to both break up and get back together, because their third album, Machine Gun Etiquette, came out in '79 after they broke up in '78. But yeah, one of the ways they were really different from a lot of the other UK punk bands is they were big fans of Pink Floyd.
Oh, nice.
Which, yeah, Brian James, the original guitarist, he died pretty recently, and the band as it exists now put out a tribute album of covers of songs that he liked, which included See Emily Play. So...
yeah, you told me going into this that it's going to be their most Syd Barrett-esque record.
Yeah.
And I know you and I are both big Syd Barrett fans.
Yeah, they wanted to get Syd Barrett in 1977 to produce their second album, Music for Pleasure, because they didn't know, because they were just a bunch of young kids. They did not know that Syd Barrett would not be someone they could work with at that point. And then they couldn't book him. They got Nick Mason, the drummer from Pink Floyd, to produce for them.
So it's like in the internet age, we know everything about Syd Barrett during that time, and it's like,
yeah,
he wasn't even able to produce his own album. Like,
no.
Basically, Roger and David were carrying those, so yeah, that was 0% chance that would have ever happened. But yeah, they had no idea what state he was in.
So John Lydon actually recently came out and said the whole Pink Floyd sucks shirt was like a joke, that he actually liked Pink Floyd, and it's like, so you built your whole career on a lie?
Yeah, I think he was trying to get attention, or maybe he's just, I don't know.
Well, that's kind of always been John Lydon's persona. Is
I don't believe him.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I also think Roger Waters anymore is more punk than John Lydon, so,
Well, yeah, we don't talk about the new recording of Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
I listened to a bit of it, and sorry, Roger, not for me.
Yeah. But yeah, they always had an interest in psychedelic music. They covered the Doors live sometimes. They're also a bit of a goth band, so they were.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, their lead singer, Dave Vanian, the only member who's been on every recording. He looks like Dracula. One time when they were recording, it was either this album or the album before it, which is the Black Album. Dave decided to walk out at night while everyone was laying down different tracks because it was one of those sessions, and was walking around a graveyard because that's where he felt at home. And he got photographed by some local reporters who put in a tabloid that a vampire was sighted in the graveyard in this tiny British town.
Goth AF.
Goth AF. And so yeah, they kind of existed in a space between punk and goth and post-punk, after starting with their fourth album, the Black Album. But this one, their fifth one, we're doing Strawberries, and it is named from a quote by Rat Scabies himself, which is when old fans would be hostile to their new material, saying it's like giving strawberries to pigs.
It's like giving strawberries to pigs.
Punk bands being rejected by their audience because they changed their sound is a
I've never heard of that. Really?
Yeah. Seems to be a very traditional thing.
Yeah.
What? No.
Their first 2 albums are pretty straightforward punk albums. Their third one is almost like a proto-hardcore because they just started playing really fast with kind of like the kind of leads you'd later hear in hardcore. And then their 4th album, they take a hard swing into goth rock. And then this one, their 5th one, is their psychedelic album, Strawberries. Then after that, Captain Sensible left the band because his solo album accidentally had a bigger hit than the Damned ever had. And so they had a bunch of people who wanted to hear his ironic covers of show tunes show up at their shows, and the Damned would have to open for him, and everyone was getting mad.
That seems sensible.
Yeah. Roman Jug, the keyboard solos guy, ended up taking over his spot for a while.
Smells like strawberries.
This is a scented LP. It smells like strawberries.
This looks like is this an original pressing?
No. There's websites on the credits. Yeah.
Okay. I looked at the years. I was like, 82. I don't see any. Yeah. Okay. All right. I suppose it probably still wouldn't be scented from back then either.
No.
Anyway,
it would smell more like cigarettes and disappointment.
Yeah.
That's what most of my records smell like. The cover is a pig, and the pig has a strawberry on its head, and just has their name, The Damned. Is this self-titled? No, Strawberries.
Strawberries.
On the back, yeah, as the title of the record on the top, and a pig that looks much happier than the pig on the front, in a tiled room surrounded by strawberries.
Like a pig in shit.
Yeah.
And there's no gatefold.
Nope. It is a single LP.
Single. Well, Sabbath had gatefolds even though they were single LPs. Some of them. That's
true, yeah.
Yeah. And then it does have like an insert with a strawberry on it. Is very stinky. It smells like a
scratch and sniff.
A scratch and sniff that you had as a kid. But it has lyrics on it, so that's not gimmicky at all.
So it looks a little worn out. You probably had this for what, 10 years? Probably.
The record? No, I got this one on vacation a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. And the record is like strawberry looking.
Yeah.
That's cool. Colored vinyl, man.
I do have the record. I do have the record digitally too. Like, this wasn't one of the ones I got early on because it was kind of hard to find a lot of music in like the late 90s, early aughts.
Yeah.
So, you already went through the personnel because we were talking about like how they switched people a lot.
Yeah.
But it was let me see. So it was produced by the Damned, thanks to Rockfield Studios, co-produced by Hugh Jones, published by Rock Music Co. Limited. And it's a synth-free album.
They bragged about how they were getting the old psychedelic organ sounds rather than just recreating them. They did use synthesizers a lot too. It's just they wanted to be like, oh, but we actually played harpsichord on this rather than simulating it. But yeah,
this pig is as happy as pig and shit. Yep, but so, side 1 is Ignite, Generals, Stranger on the Town, and Dozen Girls and the Dog. The Dog.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't take that name from Pink Floyd at all. I'm like thinking like Animals, like the album Animals.
Animals came out in 1977, so Animals had come out by the time this album was out.
We got pigs on the wing.
This one came out in 1982.
So yeah.
So this one has pigs and dogs.
Yeah, it does. They weren't ripping Pink Floyd off at all.
All right. Well, here's side 1.
Side 1, bitches.
And we're back.
Yeah. What did you guys think of side 1 of Strawberries by The Damned?
I thought the album was incredibly well produced.
Yeah.
It's very clear. Every instrument was crystal clear, like just surprisingly so. It's anyway, yeah, it sounds amazing. The songs themselves are all really good. They sound huge. It kind of goes through a spectrum of like it starts out with kind of a horror punk song, then it goes into psychedelic for most of it, and then it ends on this like really theatrical song that starts out as a piano ballad and then just builds up into something that ends kind of crazy. It's a really, really good side of music.
I can't imagine why their fans would think that this was any different.
Since you've only heard the first and the third album.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't see how it could have been any different than neat.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. I guess I never, because I'd only heard about like, I guess people only talk about the first album and Machine Gun Etiquette. No one really talks about their other albums, so
yeah,
I guess I just skipped them, or like, you know.
Yeah, I don't think people talk about the Black Album in this one enough. Yeah.
Which, you know, people, it's like Bad Brains. It's like, you know, Bad Brains had more albums than the Yellow one and Eye Against Eye, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I listen to them, but they do have other albums.
They do have other albums. This was definitely a stylistic evolution. After Captain Sensible leaves after this record, they lean even more into the goth rock until the Captain rejoins in like the early 90s.
Then they go full grunge.
No, and then they do kind of balance the Machine Gun Etiquette style of punk with like the Black Album style of goth rock throughout most of the rest of their career after that. Rat Scabies comes and goes a couple times. He and the Captain don't always get along. Right now, the lineup on this album is mostly the album they have now, and that it's, Dave Vanian, Captain Sensible, Rat Scabies, and Paul Gray. They have a different keyboard player now, though, who is named Dr. Oxymoron. But he's been in the band since like the late 90s, so like he's a long-term. So it's like all old heads at this point, but they've definitely gone through a lot of drummers in the periods where they haven't had Rat in the band, and a lot of bass players. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess I wish I would have listened to this album sooner, but maybe if I had listened to it at one point, when I was like just about punk, I would have been like, oh, what the fuck is this?
There's only one punk song on here.
Yeah. The rest of this is shit.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this record. I like that they didn't lean as much into the creepy stuff as they had on the Black Album. Like, The Dog is an all-time great, like creepy goth song. But I like it that they kind of go into more, like 60s style, like R&B influenced psychedelia through most of the side.
Yeah.
There's no other album that they do exactly this. Like, there's a few moments where they flirt with it on the Black Album, but that's more leaning into the goth stuff. So,
or Bauhaus.
They're not as minimalistic as Bauhaus. This is not stripped down at all.
No,
not at all.
Yeah.
They're much more bombastic.
Yeah.
I mean, not really bombastic, but they make them compared to Bauhaus is bombastic.
Yeah. Bauhaus is like drive-in slasher horror. This is like or at least The Dog is like the big lavish production, elaborate set, like Universal horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really theatrical.
Yeah. A song at a time. We kick things off with Ignite.
My first thoughts on this one was just like, it's like a Misfits song, but it's like well produced.
Yeah. So, funny story about the Misfits. You know the song London Dungeon?
Yeah.
That's a song that they wrote when they were trying to tour the UK and were supposed to open for the Damned, but they got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's what it's like. I don't want to be your London Dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they got bailed out or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. The Misfits were influenced by the Damned, but they definitely took things in a different direction. Like, you can hear more of the Damned in like from the Damned's first record than you can hear anything like this from the Misfits. But the Misfits by 82 were already kind of doing their own thing, so yeah.
Yeah. And I thought it was a good punk song, so like they probably were front loaded this song.
Yeah, please the old heads.
To kind of or trick the old heads to be like, yeah, we're still a punk band. We can still do punk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one on this side I would describe as punk, really. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And then I bet the old heads are like, what the fuck is the rest of this shit? Kind of like, you know, like I would have probably done.
They circle back into the punk a little bit in the second side, but yeah, this is the only punk song on side one. Yeah.
Fantastic horror punk song. And I know the first time I heard the Misfits, it was kind of a problem to get into them for me because the production on their early stuff was like hard for me.
Well, like it's recorded in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a friend who I want to bring on the podcast, and he was a huge Metallica fan, and he had the one where they cover the Misfits, where they do like Last Caress and oh, okay, I don't know.
It's up on my wall.
Okay, Last Caress and Green Hell or whatever they do, and I think he got the collection, which is like rarities and outtakes and stuff. So it's like really, it's even lower fidelity than some of their studio albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and here I come up behind him and I'm like, dude, you shouldn't have gotten that one. Cause he's like, oh, the Misfits suck, dude. I can't understand a fucking word he says. And I'm like, oh, you should have listened to this one. And I gave him Static Age.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, I wish I would have heard that one.
I do like the collection because I like listening to those songs in that order. But yeah. But yeah.
Come at me, Misfit fans. Collection sucks.
Yeah.
No. Collection 2 is worse. Fuck you.
Collection 2 has one of my favorite Misfits songs.
Halloween.
Return of the Fly with Vincent. I know that's on other stuff too.
That's on Static Age.
Yeah, but I like the really cheap ass version on Collection too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He likes cheap ass shit. No, just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah,
come at me, bro.
Ignite. Yeah, it's this one's like, and as a punk song, it sounds more like Machine Gun Etiquette than it does the first album. But a lot of that is you're gonna get the Captain sounding like that on lead guitar. As opposed to bass. Like Brian James was a very different lead guitar player, and so it's anything that the Captain does guitar on is not going to sound like the first album. So only the second album sounds like the first album, in all honesty. Yeah,
yeah. So I thought it was just a good punk song.
Yeah, I liked how bouncy the bass was too.
Yeah, like
Paul Gray. I think Paul Gray is the best bass player the band ever had. So I'm glad he eventually rejoined. But yeah.
Generals, I thought it started off sounding kind of new wavy.
Yeah, that bouncy piano thing.
Yeah, and I thought it sounded, and I liked that it started with that bouncy, and then actually what I really liked was the brass breakdown in the middle. That was really great. I liked the brass instrumentation in the side that. And it wasn't in every song, but it was when it came in. It sounded really great.
Yeah, this was good. Like the sax sounded great. I liked kind of like the Beatles-esque harmony on the chorus.
Yeah,
I know, Dave. You mentioned that this is their most Syd Barrett record, and I could definitely hear that in this song. I don't think a Syd Barrett song would ever get as big as this song did, like in scope.
Probably not. No, yeah.
But it had some of that whimsical quality.
Yeah, I also like that. Ignite was like a general, like call to arms, no real message, and then like further message, anti-war song. It's like not a punk song.
Yeah.
It's almost anti-punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean mentioned the big horn section, which I really liked. I thought the drummer played their ass off on this.
Yeah. Rat Scabies was compared to Keith Moon a lot, even like as early as the first record. He was a fantastic drummer.
I also took note of the crazy piano playing and the saxophone accents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to this song.
It was a good song. I liked Generals a lot.
Yeah. I think Generals is my favorite on this side.
Yeah, I think it was kind of my favorite. Generals or the next song.
Yeah.
A Stranger on the Town.
Straight, yes. This is like a bouncy R&B song. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of going back and forth between those two as my favorite on the side.
Yeah.
Because I liked the intro on Stranger on the Town. That was kind of like a little funhouse kind of intro.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of I don't know. I just love I like the feeling of isolation that it had, the song, because he's like, it's kind of like he's traveling through a town feeling like lost almost.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
And I liked how isolated the vocal delivery and the lyrics were contrasted with how busy the song was. It's like feeling alone in a crowd because you don't know anyone.
Yeah. I thought it was a good song.
It was really good. I like the warbling organ solo at the end too.
Oh yeah.
Agreed on that one, yeah. Really good psychedelic sound. Big sounding.
Yeah. It's a lot of and this one was like the most fun.
Yeah. So I was kind of in between this one and Generals.
Yeah. Generals was released as a single, and so was the next song. The next song was the first single off the album, Dozen Girls.
This one's kind of, I don't know, kind of describing like a meathead jock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of like it was almost like a surf rocky not rocky, but like surf song from the 60s.
It reminded me a lot of like the first Deep Purple lineup, the Rod Evans era.
Yeah.
Before they were like a hard rock band and then they were more of a psychedelic band.
Yeah.
It sounded kind of that organ sound to me almost sounds like the Vox organ that Ray Manzarek used in The Doors.
Yeah. And
I think that's what gives it that like 60s sound.
Yeah. And Dave was clearly influenced by Jim Morrison for vocal delivery.
Yeah. And so it just kind of sounds a bit like, it sounds like a garage band that was trying to sound like The Doors a bit.
Yeah. I like the huge bass drum sound too. Like I think they definitely like mic'd up the bass drum a couple times on this one.
Oh yeah. It's a good song. It's a really good song. I liked it.
I like that chant at the end, like he's got style, he's got flair, he's got thermal underwear.
Yeah, I wrote down thermal underwear, and I thought that because I thought that was hilarious.
And then like coming in, then like the captain coming in with like the high harmony part to that. Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
It was a good that was like a funny, goofy song, so it was fun.
Yeah. And it's like, and then just like, since you've seen what Dave Vamian looks like, so just like picturing a guy dressed as a vampire in like a big flowing black overcoat and like the white face paint and the black lipstick and the black eyeliner singing stuff like this is really kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. Seeing him sing the next song is not actually that far off.
Yeah. The next one fits his whole persona.
Yeah, like literally sounds like a vampire, and it sounds like you said it's about a vampire. So
yeah, it was inspired by the book Interview with the Vampire, which was out by this time.
Yeah, 78, I think.
Yeah,
it came out. Yeah, I
think Queen of the Damned, like Anne Rice, had like bands like Bauhaus and the Damned in mind when she wrote that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Which is why the movie being then like Korn is so fucking funny, because that was the current dark edgy music at the time, but that's not what the book wanted it to be.
No. Well, I don't know. Interview with the Vampire was good. I didn't really like the other two, Lestat and
Queen of the Damned.
Damned. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't get into them.
Yeah. But the dog, I liked the creepy harpsichord at the beginning, and then it got into like the big ominous bass chords on the piano.
Started out sounded like the intro to like a horror movie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it just kind of goes into a piano ballad. Like I mentioned, sounds like it's being sung by a vampire. But then it just like picks up into a section that more rocking, and then it ends up going to like this middle section with like loops and sound effects, and then eventually towards the end of the song just like this wild piano playing over a rock song. Like it's very frustrated piano playing over like well played rock music. It was an interesting dynamic.
And then like a snarling dog kind of starts to fade into the mix.
Yeah, I said my dogs would start barking at this song.
Yeah.
Because when I played Animals before, Pink Floyd Animals, Ziggy and Penny have barked at my record player.
They don't like the best Pink Floyd album?
No, not really.
They don't like animal noises.
Not coming from my record player. They think it's some dog outside.
Yeah. All right. And then that was the first side. It's a really strong side of music. I have a hard time choosing between sides. I think there are some high points on side 2 that make it pretty equal for me, but we'll see. On this we have Gun Fury, Pleasure and Pain, Life Goes On, which is sung by Captain Sensible, Bad Time for Bonzo, which is about exactly who you think it is.
John Bonham, huh?
Yeah. Under the Floor Again. And then closes out with Don't Bother Me, which is also sung by Captain Sensible. His successful solo career was giving him lead vocals with his band, too, sometimes.
Is he a good vocalist?
He is. He's not as good as Dave, though.
Oh, okay.
His vocal style fits the songs he does.
What the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
What the fuck was that?
If anyone picked up the small hint I dropped earlier, if you accidentally bought the record store day version of this record, you know what we're talking about now, but if not, you will find out as we go through. But regarding the really jarring part, what did you guys think of this side of music?
Otherwise, fucking fantastic, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Honestly, without like the big jarring difference with one particular song, I think I like side 2 better. So like when I listen to the digital version that I have at home, I like side 2 better. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I like side 2 better or not. I think they were both pretty even, I think.
Yeah, like
I'd probably have to listen to it a couple times before because it's even and it's a good album, so it's kind of hard to say I liked one or the other better. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think side 2 seemed more cohesive.
Yeah, this is a no skip album though. Like this, It's like every song feels like it's vital.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
But this one, it's still like big, but it's less big than the first side in that it doesn't have like the 3 songs with the jaunty brass quite as much. There's some big strings in one of the songs, but other than that, yeah, this one's a little more stripped back than the first side, which is good. Not that the big sound is bad on the first one, but it gives you a chance. It's kind of good, like on the second side, to let things breathe a little more and be bigger on the first side sometimes, just to like kind of slowly wind things down.
Yeah, I think the flow of it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one This one felt a little more. This side felt a little more on like the Syd Barrett psychedelia side, and less on like the big kick your feet R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the more psychedelic songs really do sound like What If Piper but 80s.
Yeah.
which is cool. Like we never got that because Barrett Pink Floyd was a very different thing than Gilmore Pink Floyd. And like later on I'll comment on that because there's a song that had both of those eras in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people like to say "what if" with Syd Barrett, Pink Floyd. I mean, we really only got like one album of Syd Barrett for Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
for Pink Floyd, but he does have 2 solo albums.
I know he has 2 solo albums, but we only really got the one true Syd Barrett Pink Floyd album,
and he's a little bit on the second album.
Yeah,
but yeah. But the second album's pretty uneven compared to the first one. So
yeah.
The first one is fantastic. It's like they came out of the gate as a great band, and then they had to find themselves again. It's kind of interesting.
Well, when your main singer, songwriter, or whatever is kind of
suffers a psychotic break.
you have to reassess things.
Yeah,
it's kind of surprising that they even kept the name Pink Floyd after Syd Barrett left or whatever.
I still think it took them till Dark Side of the Moon to get as good as Piper, and then by then they got as good as Piper by doing something pretty different.
They had some shining moments.
They did.
I still think they got. I think Metal is probably my favorite.
I think Metal is when they got great again.
Yeah, Echoes is is like one of their best songs post Syd Barrett. I know, like I said, I know they shit. I think I said this before, but I know they shit on Adam Heartmother. But I think that's a really good song. Or that's a. I haven't. I've listened to the whole album, but I don't think I think there's only one part that I'm like, it's kind of weird, which is the breakfast one. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Alan's psychedelic breakfast.
Yeah. That's only weird because it's like the music's good, but then there's just some dude eating.
Yeah. I do think when they got, like, one of the signs that they had gotten great again before Dark Side of the Moon was like the whole Live at Pompeii concert movie.
Yeah. I have the album that was released this year, and that is really good. So yeah.
Well, and it's like Live at Pompeii, a lot of the stuff they do is stuff that wasn't working for me on the records before it, but like whatever they were doing in that space transformed it.
Right.
And then after that they went into Dark Side of the Moon, and it's like, okay, these guys have a reason to keep doing that.
Yeah. It's You know what's so funny to me though, like real quick, one more aside of Pink Floyd. Most of their lyrics fit on like one single like sheet for an album.
Yeah.
Besides The Wall, it's like all their other albums, like their lyrics fit on like one little sheet.
Yeah. I think they had a, like, as they were transitioning out of the Barrett era, they were having a hard time figuring out what they wanted to say with words too. Yeah. And then by The Wall, Roger Waters was really angry about the most annoying of their fans, and wanted to decided to also then, because that's kind of what sparked it, but then he also had to process that somehow that brought up, his feelings about the death of his father. And the whole album spawned from that.
Yeah. Go on, Judge, shit on him.
But
anyway, The
Damned. They would not mind us talking about Pink Floyd because they were fans.
Oh, I mean, it's
they
obvious.
Were clearly fans.
They were clearly fans, yeah.
And I like it that being fans of Pink Floyd is something that was consistent across like many years and lineups of The Damned. Like their first guitarist, who had long since left the band at this point, like when they did that covers album, like the second song they did was See Emily Play.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, much like the first side, this side has a lot of different types of songs on it. A lot of psychedelia, some like 80s new wave style stuff. Bad Time for Bonzo is a fast-paced punk song, and there's even a little industrial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like industrial.
Yeah. But yeah, kicking things off with this one, we have Gun Fury, which is like it's like a 60s, like it's more of a stripped back psychedelic type stuff, kind of like the kind of thing you would hear on like the Nuggets compilation.
It starts off kind of like almost like a punky song.
Yeah.
Then it turns kind of like to a folk song.
Yeah.
And then it's like a garage rock.
It like tricks you with that crunchy guitar riff, and then it's more like a chorus drenched guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've got like a really crunchy flange on the guitar too, and then there's like the honky tonk piano that starts pretty early in the song and goes through the whole thing.
Yeah. It was an interesting like dynamic song, so I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, like it kept grabbing your ear and doing something cool each time. Like it was a good opener, and it was a good way to kind of set aside a different character for the second side. Like kind of like a more of a stripped back thing, but not any less ambitious.
Mm. It also had some really cool panning sound effects that like ended the song that I thought were really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next up we have Pleasure and the Pain.
Now this one sounded really 80s. Like
yeah.
The keyboard sounded really 80s in like the opening and the middle section.
Almost happy.
Yeah.
But it also had a lot of Deep Purple style organ in it, especially on the solo. So
it had like a really like gritty, growly bass too.
Yeah. It was a good song. I don't have as much to. I really like the piano and stuff in the background on this one.
Yeah, Dave was singing a lot higher than he normally does. That he wasn't doing like the baritone Jim Morrison meets Dracula type thing that he often does. Like this one, he was exploring his range a little more. I also like lyrically, I was trying to figure out like if it's a song about like the good memories of an ex after a breakup, or about just like the uncertainty and like the pain alongside with the excitement and the pleasure of a new relationship. It could be about either. It could be about both.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. I also liked how, I don't know if it was a string section or Mellotron strings, but like the furious strings that came over the organ solo right before the last chorus and then just stayed through the end of the song.
Yeah, that one I liked that song a lot, but it was just I didn't have a lot to say about it because I just was kind of enjoying it.
Yeah. Next we have Life Goes On.
Come As You 80s.
Come As You 80s. The Captain sings this one.
So, in fairness, I thought this one actually sounded more like Come As You Are, like the bass, because it's the bass doing it.
Yeah.
It sounded more like Come As You Are than the 80s does.
Yeah.
By the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's a 80s and Come As You Are, I think, only hold that one riff in common, whereas Come As You Are and this song had like two parts that were in common that I noticed anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like it's in, but it sounded like almost like identical, but I don't know.
I think the guitar riff between Come As You Are and 80s sounds a little more different than this song and Come As You Are, I think. Too.
Yeah.
Or the bass riff.
I think.
This reminds me of that story of how Steve Jobs got mad at Bill Gates for ripping off the Macintosh, but the Macintosh ripped off the Xerox computer.
Yeah.
And Bill Gates was like, Steve, it's like we both broke into the same house.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of crazy how like how it can be how the law interprets things as being stolen or something that being inspired by, because like the whole people kind of think about the whole George Harrison lawsuit when they think about things, and that's a whole crazy story that we don't really have time to get into, but yeah.
This is really kind of a modern phenomenon anyway, though, isn't it? Because before, people would set lyrics to the tunes of traditional music all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but that they would do that because like no one owned the rights to it.
Yeah.
And then people started like, oh, I own the rights to that song, or getting the publishing rights to it. And now that people have more publishing rights to things, then they're like, oh, you know.
Well, and there's a finite number of notes, and then there's an even smaller number of notes that sound good played one after the other.
Right.
So it's just like mathematically, these things are going to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you hear something, and then like years later, you come up with something, and it's accidentally something you heard years before.
Yeah.
Well,
it just kind of happens.
Yeah, it's like, well, they talk about the four pop song chords, you know, where it's like every pop song, if you play those 4 chords, it sounds like every pop song.
I'll say this sounded a lot closer to "Come As You Are" than that Tom Petty and Sam Smith song sounded together.
Yeah.
Like, I think there'd be more of a claim to this song than that song.
Yeah,
where it's like
that's the same
almost
thing.
just kind of sounded the same. Like, this
Yeah.
one sounded like almost note for note.
If you hear the song, you should listen to "My Sweet Lord," and the song that they said that "My Sweet Lord" ripped off, and you'd be like, "What the fuck? How the hell did anybody think that this "My Sweet Lord" ripped off this song?"
Yeah.
So, and then George Harrison didn't get like vindication for that until like the 90s.
Yeah.
That's how long it took, because he got sued back in like 73 or something like that, and it took him until like the mid 90s to get vindication for it.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, long story. We don't have time for it.
Yeah. Like this song on its own merits, though. I do really like this. It's like a slower, more stripped back song compared to the previous two, and definitely compared to the previous side. It builds really well over time. I don't think the Captain is as good of a vocalist as Dave, but I think his voice fits the song well, and he does a good job with it.
Yeah,
on
I
like
thought
a
it was
casual
really
listen, it didn't like stick out to me like a sore thumb or anything.
No.
So.
Yeah.
If you actually, honestly, if you hadn't told me that it wasn't the other guy, I probably wouldn't have known. I mean, I might have been
Yeah,
like,
same.
this sounds weird, but I probably wouldn't have known. Maybe I might have been like, oh, it sounds like he's doing a different voice here or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they sound pretty different, but maybe
sometimes like it's just because I hadn't listened to the
Yeah.
him sing enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also like Dave Vanian is like a pretty huge direct influence on my own singing style. So I can definitely
Is it
tell.
because his name is Dave?
No, it's because of the Dracula meets Jim Morrison thing. My vocal range can do that kind of thing, and yeah,
These
and
are
I
the
like
Daves I know. These are the Daves I know.
and that was like one of the ways I figured out how to start hitting some notes that I was otherwise not hitting. So,
Yeah. But
I started off.
I guess
Yeah.
it also might have been I was distracted because you're like, this is the "Come As You Are" song, and I was listening to that more than I was actually listening to his singing.
That's fair, yeah. Next up, we have the big what the fuck moment. I got the record store day version of this album, and it replaced what's one of the best songs on the album, the second best on the side, in my opinion, with a lo-fi live version.
That live version was barely better than the bootlegs that we put out.
Yeah.
That we record with our cell phones.
I was kind of like, well,
I'm like, what the?
we were both like, oh, is this live? I looked at David. I'm like, is this live? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. That they
I was
put
like, what a
live
weird
track.
decision.
Yeah.
The fidelity on this album has been fantastic up until this point, and then suddenly this like live version.
Well, I was just thinking, sometimes punk bands put live shit on their albums, you know?
Yeah.
And That's all I thought it was.
Whoever made that decision to replace the studio version, which was fantastic, by the way, because you played it for us.
Yeah.
Whoever made that decision, straight to jail.
Yeah. Straight to jail.
So, yeah. So this isn't. I don't really actually have like my record store day thing. Is I just did one and I got Bob Dylan's the freewheeling Bob Dylan's the original version that he was going to release, but
yeah,
there was a whole thing where they told him to cut Talking John Birch Paranoid Blues.
Yeah.
Which he ended up cutting 4 songs and then he replaced them with other songs. But there was like some like 1,000 or so copies got out into the wild before they caught it. So like that's actually a really rare record. If you can get like an original freewheeling Bob Dylan, it's worth like 20 grand or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, but they did like an original, like they did a re-release of it, and it's actually really good. My only complaint is that one of the songs that was swapped out and swapped in is like one of my favorite songs on the freewheeling Bob Dylan, which is Masters of War.
Yeah.
So Masters of War is not on this version of the freewheeling Bob Dylan. And I'm like, it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a really, and it actually sounds really good. And it was only $25 too. So it's like a really good sounding copy of the freewheeling Bob Dylan. And it's like, but it's only missing that one song. It would be the perfect copy.
Yeah.
If it had Masters of War.
This reminds me of the discussion we had about the Clash record between the UK and the USA versions.
Yeah.
I hate it when they fuck with track lists like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
my dad has the American version of Rubber Soul, which would be interesting to do an episode on that.
Yeah. But yeah, Bad Time for Bonzo as a song itself, really good. Like I like the Bad Time for Me, and then kind of like coming in right under it, Bad Time for You, Bad Time for Bonzo too. Yeah.
And none of that really came out in the live version because it was all blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really couldn't tell what they were saying really either.
Yeah. And then like I liked all the like different like organ overdubs that were in the studio version too. Yeah, it's just a baffling decision. It's like the second best song on the side with the original one. One of the best songs on the album. It's one that I'm like the original is one that I'm likely to put on a mix because it's cool. I liked like the rant the captain was doing into the mic beforehand about how the stupid American has the power to end all life on Earth. But yeah, but yeah, it's just a baffling decision to have done that. And
we got the rights to every other song except this one song, so we just use a live version. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't understand how it happened. But yeah, if you seek out this album on vinyl, get on Discogs and make sure it's not the record store day version is basically my thought.
The one that has the scented vinyl.
Yeah.
Don't get the scented vinyl.
We're gonna get
it may smell like strawberries, but it's actually shit. No.
Yeah.
It's just covering the shit.
We do, after the song, we do get to my favorite on this side. I go back and forth between whether or not I like this or General's better. So is it my favorite on the album? Who can say? But Under the Floor Again.
This one might be my favorite on this album.
Yeah, I like it. Started as like kind of like a slow psychedelic song that did like the like reverse guitar effect and sitar stuff. Great vocal performance, but it like picked up to punk tempo.
Yeah,
and then became like a punk song, but with like the psychedelic guitar going over it still.
Yeah.
Was this like about like Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart kind of thing?
I think it was.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Then I liked how at the end the huge guitar sound came in.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
To a degree, it reminded me of the Piper of the At the Gates of Dawn, Pink Floyd. But then, like when the guitar solo came in, pure Gilmore Floyd. It was,
Yeah.
there was like a clear line where it shifted, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
Really cool song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the song after this, but this one almost would have made sense to be the one to end it on and like switch the two's place. But yeah.
I think I don't know. I'm still kind of drawn to the other song.
Yeah. Like
I don't know.
if you put a gun to my head and told me to choose whether or not to switch them, I couldn't give you a definitive answer.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it's and then following it up is Don't Bother Me, which there's an industrial drum kind of loop that kind of goes through this entire side of the album, like that will fade in and out before songs, and this time it keeps going and becomes the song itself.
Yeah.
Straight up industrial loop. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded kind of like this one sounded kind of like a stream of consciousness almost.
Yeah, like lyrically sounded a lot like Syd Barrett. Not musically until like later on, some like clean, jangly guitars kind of came in.
Yeah, this was the other one that the captain sings on.
Yeah,
yeah, it was fun. I liked the stream of consciousness type singing that he was doing.
I agree. It was good.
I liked the little like kind of misanthropic rant to it too, just kind of the "Don't bother me."
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
It was, and in another sense, it reminds me of Syd Barrett in the sense that like later in life, like paparazzi would continually bother him and take pictures of him while he was like getting the fucking newspaper and shit. And I just imagine him being like, "Don't bother me."
Yeah, I almost wonder if this one was a Syd Barrett homage because of that.
I can see that. There's some pictures of him like just wandering around town like in a wife beater, and like the looks on his face look like I'm gonna fucking shove that camera straight up your ass.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a threatening old man.
Poor guy.
I bet when The Damned tried to book Syd Barrett for their producer for their second album and ended up getting Nick Mason instead, I bet Nick Mason politely told them about why they could never get Syd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I bet they, like, by 82, they definitely knew about Syd Barrett's mental state.
Yeah. Although, I mean, the guy made enough money off of royalties to live off of that in his house and make paintings for the rest of his life. So, I mean, I know he had a psychotic break, but I mean, it sounded like he just lived his best life after that. So
yeah. I mean, if he hadn't died, not young, but middle-aged, but youngish, I think if he was still alive, still making paintings and getting residuals, I would say he lived a pretty kick-ass life.
His sister said that as soon as he was done with a painting, like he had no attachment to it afterwards. He was just like, "Oh, it's done." He was just compelled to do them and had no attachment to them when they were finished. And that's interesting.
That is, I think that's probably one of the reasons why he ended up quitting doing music, is being expected to like learn songs and keep doing the same songs.
I think one of my favorite Syd Barrett moments when a paparazzi was trying to bother him is when he told me that I don't have time for this. I have to get coleslaw.
Yeah.
Like, just did not give a single shit about his past life after that. And then, is that admirable? I guess in a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
If you just walk away from that and not care.
Yeah. But yeah, like
kind of like what Daniel Johnston went through too.
Yeah.
Daniel Johnston had a complete didn't even remember like making music almost.
Yeah.
I think it was the same with Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had kind of a psychotic break at one point. Yeah. I don't know. It just sounded to me like later in life, Syd was just a special needs person that his sister took care of, and God bless him. Made some of my favorite music.
Yeah, and I also like it that punk wasn't such a clean break from the past that it sometimes gets portrayed as in retrospect. That there were punk bands who really did like psychedelia and prog and stuff like that, and were really influenced by it and like did their own stuff with that kind of thing, like this record. I'm like really glad that this record exists how it exists, and that the first British punk band to put out a single and an album, decided that this was a good direction for them to go, and it really worked. This is a fantastic album that you should definitely seek out, as long as you don't get the version I did.
Yeah. Well,
You find it for cheap, I guess. But
yeah.
I always like the Freddie Mercury story where Sid Vicious was like Sid Vicious
I already know.
was making fun of him or like fucking with him, and he started calling Sid Vicious Simon Ferocious, and he's like he did not like that. He didn't like it. I started calling him Simon Ferocious, and he's like, and I guess Sid Vicious said like, how's it going bringing opera to the masses? And I guess he picked him up and threw him out of the studio.
Yeah. The funny thing about Sid Vicious is he was a complete fuck up and a bad person. But it is funny, like you get like the narrative about how the Sex Pistols were about burning down everything that came before it. And, Johnny Rotten talked about how he hated Pink Floyd, even though now he's walked back on that. But like Sid Vicious named himself after Syd Barrett and dressed up like David Bowie.
Well, and Stephen Jones would say like, oh, you're doing all those Beatle chords. But then like when he met Jimmy Page, he told Jimmy Page, oh, you're my favorite guitarist.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, okay, dude.
Yeah.
You guys are totally... Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. They were being contrarians to some degree or another.
Yeah.
Like, I remember once I saw...
It was totally like a fashion statement to some of them.
Yeah.
I remember once I saw an interview with Lenny Kaye from the Patti Smith Band that after the Patti Smith Band first played in the UK, they went to a club and saw like the Sex Pistols playing, and Lenny said that he saw on stage that there was like John Lydon, who was like, did anyone else see that hippie lady swaying around earlier? Horses, 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 horse shit. And Lenny was like, well, there went our 15 minutes of fame.
Oh my God.
But Horses is a better album than Nevermind the Bollocks. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. I just got Nevermind the Bollocks today. So
Yeah.
whatever.
They're both great albums. But yeah, they were both kind of needed in the time they were in. So yeah. I'm more likely to put in Horses though.
Well, all right, yeah, The Damned. That was a very eclectic album full of punk, psychedelic, and
Goth.
And if you like all that stuff, like if you're coming from like the more metal side of like the stuff that I bring in, or the more prog stuff that I bring in, of course, Pink Floyd. But I think if you're like a Type O Negative fan, I think you'd love this. If you're a Ghost fan, I think you would love this. If you're somebody that's a little held up on punk because of some of the rough production, completely absent on this. The production on this was stellar, except for the one song that you're hopefully not likely to hear because this is a weird variant release. But otherwise, yeah, great. I'm glad you brought this one in.
Yeah. Dave Vanian, probably like the best technical singer in the original UK punk scene. Rat Scabies, technically the best drummer. And then you get like some awesome like guitar and bass and keyboards on this too. Like this is like a really interesting and complex record, and it's definitely worth checking out. If you're one of the people who have only heard the Damned's first and third record and you're not expecting anything that just sounds exactly like that, and do like goth rock and psychedelia, it's definitely worth seeking out. If you prefer the gothier stuff, you can always go for the Black Album, which was the one between this one and Machine Gun Etiquette, and that one is a little bloated, but it's worth because it was a double album that could have been a single album, but it's definitely worth seeking out.
Who released the best Black Album? The Damned, Spinal Tap, or Metallica?
Probably Metallica. No, the Black Album isn't like one of the ones I really like. Despite some of the extra stuff, I really do like the Damned one. Like it's part of it is they came up with a really great song that takes up an entire side of music. and then had to fill it in as a double at that point, which included some better quality live stuff on the last side. But yeah, it's actually only really bloated because of the live tracks on side 4. Like sides 1, 2, and 3 are great, and then you have another side of music that's like, okay, this is a good live performance that doesn't match the quality of the rest of the record. But yeah, so it's not like the thing that happened here is unprecedented, but it was at least relegated to its own side of music with the Black Album.
Yeah.
And
So wunderbar, yeah.
And it didn't replace an existing song that was otherwise a highlight of the album.
Wunderbar, das ist gut, ja. We love it, don't we, Steve? It's wunderbar.
It's wunderbar. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Damned is a band worth checking out if you haven't before.
They're not German.
They're not German. They're English. But yeah, like honestly, if I had to choose any 3 Damned records, it would be the first one, the third one, and then this one. So yeah. But yeah, catch you on the flip side.
Flip.
Side 1, Side B is a Floof Goof Studios production. Head on over to killrockmusic.com, that's KILRAVOCK music.com, to check out our post-punk band, The Alliterates, and Steve's solo project, Kill Rock. You can also check out Steve and Dave's experimental project, Lucid Fugue, where the theme song comes from, at lucidfugue.bandcamp.com. You can also check out Dave's old band, Gong Farmer, at gongfarmer.bandcamp.com, spelled GONGFERMOUR. You can find each of us on various social media platforms. Check out the description for more information. Thanks!
Lick my love pump.
This music really makes me hate the centralized bank.
Sunday morning.
All hail to Sean.
All hail to Sean.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Doctor Who. Hey, the TARDIS.
What the hell was that?
What the hell is that?
What the fuck was that?